So good evening, everyone. As Sneha says, introduced me. I am also a part of CERED. I'm a school coordinator of a School of Environmental Management and also working as a freelance environmental consultant. I welcome you all to this 2 days training program on environmental impact assessment, where we begin our journey to understand how EIA plays a vital role in integrating environmental concerns into a decision making for developmental projects. So let's begin with our overview of today's session. We will walk through the basics of EIA today and its evolution in India, the legal framework, EIA notification 1994 and 2006, EIA process, step by step, including where it required and how it carried out. So first, we understand about EIA. The EIA is an environmental impact assessment and is a process that evaluates the environmental consequences of proposed development before decisions are made. And it's a scientific tool also, embedded in legal framework. So that imbalance the make informed choices balancing development and environmental sustainability. So if environmental impact assessment is a process that evaluates environmental consequences and it is a scientific tool for environmental sustainability, then why are the projects stopped midway? There's a big question. We see what happened. Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, we can hear.
Okay.
Yes, madam, you are logic.
Okay, thank you. So we see many developmental projects in India are stalled. And in India, we often hear about the ambitious developmental projects. Which type of ambitious developmental projects? These are the power plants, highways, there are factories or behind delayed or even cancelled. But surprisingly, it's not always due to the lack of funds. We thought in our news that many projects are happening, power plants are being installed, but we thought it is due to the fund lack or flawed in engineering section. More often, the problem lies in something much simpler, but deeply critical. An inadequate or missing environmental impact assessment is the main cause behind this lack. That means no proper EIA. Think of EIA as a nature's traffic signal. When done properly, it flashes red for danger, green for go ahead, or yellow for caution. And it tells us, wait, this area is ecologically sensitive, or proceed, but with safeguard in place. Without it, we are essentially driving blind. And when we ignore that signal, what happens? The consequences are follows like local communities raise in protest, courts intervenes, in environmental damages becomes unavoidable. So projects get tangled in legal battles and public resistance, wasting years and crores of investment. That's why EIA isn't just a paperwork. It's a proactive step to ensure developments is planned with awareness and responsibility. I hope you get my point till now. If you, then you write a yes or no at least. Okay. So if the problem is completed or solved by EIA, why EIA is important in many projects or if in every project, in fact, because EIA helps decision makers foresee the environmental outcomes of projects. Let us understand with an example of a POSCO steel plant. We see environmental impact assessment helps to identify, predict, or mitigate adverse impact. But then why POSCO steel plant in Odisha stopped, or what happened in, or it is project is stalled? Imagine a grand vision a massive steel plant that promises jobs, infrastructure, and economic growth. That's what industrial projects implemented in India. This was the dream behind the POSCO project in Odisha also. But as the foundation stone were about to be laid, the dream began to unravel. Why? Because protests erupted, local fears for their land, their forest, their livelihoods, environmental concerns were raised, and questions about displacement, water uses, and ecological damages obtained the headlines of the newspaper. Then what wrong with it? It wasn't just an opposition. It was the absence of true environmental impact assessment that could have anticipated these very issues. Had the project been guided by the strong EIA from the beginning, it might have identified sensitive zones, consulted communities earlier, and suggested alternate sites or mitigation plans. So, in the end, the project was stalled, losing time, trust, and billions. And this is why EIA is just a regulatory checkbox. It's a vital map, helps navigate the complex between the development and environmental sustainability. And that is the picture behind the POSCO steel plant stalled. So, its difference building blindly or building wisely. Now, we are here. So, through this training, we aim to understand EIA purpose is sustainable development, navigate the Indian legal system governing in EIA, understand the 8 procedural steps, and compare India's approach with global practices. But before going to the procedure, we have to understand or know. It is very important to understand the history of EIA. What happened in 1960s? Sorry, what happened in 1916s? Basically, in 1960s, it begins the growing environmental awareness, and from there, 1969 formalized in USA, and in 1969 it's under NEPA, then spread globally. Initially, India followed an administrative model and shifted to a statutory model by 1990s. As you see, 1990s, India and many development countries formalized EIA regulation enforceably. And it has 2 model. First one is administrative model, and the second one is statutory model. Administrative model comes before 1994, followed by India till 1992, and statutory model is a law-based and mandatory, which is followed by 2000 after 2006. Now, the key regulation or notification of India. So in 27th Jan 1994, the first EIA notification made and making environmental clearance mandatory. After that, in 1997 April, public hearing became compulsory. A major update came in 14 September 2006, streamlining procedures and introducing clear project categorization. And in 1st December 2009, the major amendment in 2006 notification done. This is the sample of 2006 notification. I will share with you all in a group. So the main regulatory bodies of EIA or EC are MOEF and CC, which is overseeing EIA in India. And at the state level, it is SIA and SIAC, which is State Environmental Impact Assessment Authority and State Environmental Appraisal Committee, handles screening and appraisal, while SPCV is conduct public hearings. For example, if the Navi Mumbai airport case is handled by Maharashtra SIA. Now, the 2006 notification refined the process. how the concerned authority, the projects were categorized in two categories, category A and category B. Under the category A project is handled by MOEF and CC on EAC recommendations, and category B project is recommended by CAC or CR. So these categories are based on the impact scale and resource sensitivity. The clearance validity also varies from 30 years for mining, 10 years for river valley projects, and other for 5 years of project. Now next. Now let's look at the EIA process. It has 8 key steps, which is screening, scoping, impact prediction, and then baseline data, mitigation, reporting. Mitigation takes decision and the reporting after will be monitored. So first we have to move and know about the screening process. Screening decides if EIA is required or not based on type, size, and potential impact of the project. The project categorization, as I say earlier, that the project categorization is based on high environmental impact, and this, if the project is high environmental impact, then it required clearance from Delhi, which is from MOEF and CC, and if it has a moderate impact, then it is sent to the state level CR or CAC. And in category B, there is a two subcategories of the projects. In category, if the category B1 projects, if the project is having category B1, then it needs EIA. And if the project category contain B2, then it is exempted from EIA. That means there is no EIA required for B2 category project. Only environmental management plan is compulsory for B2 category projects like small scale projects. Sorry. Now next, we move to the scoping step. So the purpose of scoping is to identify the key environmental concerns and focus area, where we got the and prepared for CAC or EAC meeting. We prepare a pre-feasibility report to obtain terms of reference from CAC or EAC, where we define what to study, how to study, and what data to collect in front of our committee. The committee is State or Expert Appraisal Committee. So scoping is a step where we got TOR from committee or board. Next one is impact analysis. The step predict the project environmental consequences using tools like AeroMode, Cormix for water discharge modeling. AeroMode is done for air dispersion modeling. So impact analysis is likely environmental consequences. We find all the impact from social impact, health impact, wildlife, water, and also the cultural, which is called socio-economic impact. Next part is mitigation measure. What is mitigation measure and what happened here? To reduce or eliminate negative impact identified in analysis and to prepare for environmental management plan, we need mitigation measures. For those environmental issues, the sources, proposed controls, and monitoring schedules. The next part is reporting. After mitigation, the EIA reporting consolidates findings. First, a draft is prepared for public consultation. Based on the feedback, a final version is submitted and incorporating suggestions and expert reviews. After reporting, we see the review process where the expert appraisal committee, that is EAC or CAC, review the report for accuracy and completeness. They may call for presentations, conduct site visits, or request clarification from project proponents. It may involve technical presentation and site visit, as I say. So last one is the decision making step, because based on the review, authorities decide whether to grant or reject EC, that is environmental clearance, and they consider site sensitivity, pollution level, public views, and available alternatives. Now next is the monitoring and compliance. So what happened in monitoring? Post clearance, when you got the EC, the project proponents submit 6 monthly compliance reports, which is important after the grant of EC. Implementation of EMP is monitored and verified through third-party audit to ensure environmental promises are being kept, which is a compliance of our EC report. Now, the main part of EIA is here, that is public consultation. Public consultation is core democratic element, and what we say, let us understand with a story. Imagine or a picture a quiet village where a new industrial project is about to begin. The villagers hear rumors of truck, chimney, and dust. So, but no one has officially asked for their opinion. They worry: will our fields be safe? What about the water we drink? And will our children still have clean air to breathe? These are the questions in their mind when the village is quiet and there is no industrial project. But now imagine a different scene, one where a notice goes up at the local panchayat office. People gather under a banyan tree as officials from a state pollution control board explain the project, and community members speak up. Some raise concern, others share support, or their voices are heard, recorded, and considered. And that is public consultation, or we call in EIA public hearing, the heart of democracy in environmental governance. It gives people a seat at the table, especially those who will be most impacted. Because many industries are set up where the local villages or the Gramin areas. So, of course, not every project goes through this process. Strategic defense operations or road expansions without land acquisition are exempted from public consultation or public hearing process, often due to the urgency of national interest. But most major developments, public consultation ensure that progress does not silence. And next, so after knowing the steps of EIA, we have must understand where is EIA required, and for this, EIA is required for Schedule 1 projects and Schedule 2 projects. So what is Schedule 1 and Schedule 2 project? We will see in the next slide. But the Schedule 1 project is carrying out EIA's must, and Schedule 2 project EIA must carry it out if the development is likely to have significant impact. Now next, these are the projects or many more of them where Schedule 1 projects and considered as Schedule 1 projects and Schedule 2 projects. Mainly the power plants, waste disposal, incineration, major road schemes are under the Schedule 1 projects, and quarries and open cast mining, surface to storage for fossil fuels, foundries and forges, some textile operation, wastewater treatment plant, coke ovens. These are under the Schedule 2 projects. If you have any question regarding any slide or regarding the basics of EIA, you can write in the chat box. After the session, we will have a question answer session. Now next, the procedure as per EIA notification. So in EIA or for EIA, environmental impact assessment of any project, we are again based on the notification which comes in 2006. So based on 2006 notification, the main procedure of EIA are, first one is screening. So let us understand more about the screening process. Screening process require only for category B projects. As we see earlier, there is a two category of projects, category A and category B. So screening is basically done for category B projects, because for B category projects, there is again subcategory B1 and B2, and for B1, EIA is required, and for B2, EIA is not required. Next part is the scoping. Detailed and comprehensive terms of reference that called shall be suggested by EAC of MOEF or CEAC of SIA based on Form 1 submitted by the applicant for preparation of EIA report. The subgroup of EAC and SIAC will visit the site. If necessary, all projects of construction, township, commercial complexes shall not require scoping and would be appraised on the basis of Form 1 and conceptual plan. As I say earlier, for scoping stage, at the scoping stage, we got TOR by the submission, after the submission of Form 1 and conceptual plan and PFR, which is pre-feasibility report. So the TOR timeline and approval, TOR shall be conveyed to applicant within 60 days of the receipt of Form 1. And if the TOR is not finalized, then within 60 days from concerned authorities, the TOR suggested in the Form 1 by applicant and is deemed as approved for EIA study. The approved TOR shall be displayed on the website of MOEF and SIA. We will see next day in our second day class. And if any rejections of prior environmental clearance shall be conveyed to the applicant within 60 days also. Now again, the third stage of the EIA procedure, which is the public hearing. Public hearing is mandatory for all category A and category B1 projects. That means for category A and category B projects, EIA is required. And if EIA is done, then public hearing is mandatory. All category A and B1 projects shall undertake public consultation, except what? Except the modernization of river valley projects. All projects or activities located within industrial estate or parks. Expansion of road or highway which do not involve any further land acquisition. All building, construction, area, developmental, township projects, these are all exempted from public hearing. And all category B2 project. So all projects or activities concerning national defense and security or involving other strategic consideration as determined by the central government. Now, public hearing is not a simple or a one part of EIA. It is very essential for doing any installation of project for both the proponent and the committee. Public hearing shall be conducted by SPCV, and which is State Pollution Control Board, and the proceedings shall be forwarded to the regulatory authority within 45 days of request from the applicant. And if the public hearing cannot be conducted by SPCV, in any case, then within 45 days, the regulatory authority shall engage another public agency to complete same within 45 days. So what we see that it is compulsory whether SPCV is involved or not. Widely publicity, the draft EIA report shall be placed at the notified place during the normal office hours. All the responses received from public shall be forwarded. That is what happened in public hearing, that all the responses received from the public shall be forwarded to the applicant through the quickest possible means. And after compliance of public consultation, the applicant shall make appropriate changes in the draft EIA or EMP report may be submitted. And the final EIA report shall be submitted to the regulatory authority. Now, the next part is appraisal. appraisal in front of EAC or CEAC. The project would be scrutinized by EAC or CEAC based on final EIA report after public consultation. Outcome of the public consultation including public hearing, proceedings and application of the project proponent, as I say. The applicant shall be invited to furnish necessary clarification in person by appraisal committee. On completion of the proceedings, the expert appraisal committee shall make categorical recommendations, especially for grant of prior EC with reasons. And then the EC is transferable or recommended. These are the main procedures of EIA. Now, as we see the process flow diagram, and it is everything we have covered so far. How a project moves from application, here with submission of application to MOEF, Form 1, Form 1A, the pre-feasibility report, and from there, the verification of documents and meeting for draft or TOR. Then, if the draft or TOR is completed and okay, then it is go for draft EIA report preparation, and if not, then store specified by MOEF. It goes to central level, and then it comes to draft EIA report preparation. After draft EIA report preparation, public hearing or exemption is compulsory. If after public hearing completion, if it is done, it is submission of EIA and other information to MOEF, and if not done, the conduct public hearing, and after public hearing, the proceedings and recommendations is done in EIA report, and then submit to EIA to the MOEF or CEAC. And then the project is appraised in EAC meeting. If the project is okay, then it has, or if has a minimum impact, then it is information is furnished, is completed, and it granted by EC. And if the project is not okay or it has a maximum impact, then the project is rejected. Now next, this is the time schedule which we follow during the time of EIA preparation. From Form 1 submission to MOEF along with the TOR and pre-feasibility to screening and additional TOR, this full data take within 60 days, and but in actual case it takes 90 to 120 days, because many data are required, many documents are required from the project proponent. And after the additional TOR is done, for the preparation of draft EIA, we from TOR to draft EIA, we have within 45 days we have to complete the draft EIA, but in actual case it takes 120 to 150 days from TOR to preparation of EIA. After the preparation of EIA, the public hearing is conducted by SPCV, and it takes 75 to 90 days, and then it reviewed by expert appraisal committee, the final decision of competent authority, and then till public hearing. After public hearing, the review of EAC and CEAC, the final decision of committee, it will take 150 to 130 days, and actually it is actually 150 to 300 days, but it is actually by notification it is done within 105 days, and then the EC is granted. So as per notification, total 210 days is required for complete EC grant, but in actual practice case, we have at least 465 to 720 days, more than a year. So this is complete information about the beginning of EIA or EC preparation, report preparation, EIA report preparation. Apart from this, do you have any question, you can ask in our chat box. Okay, no more questions till now. Okay. Okay, then continue with one report. It is visible for all of you?
Yes, madam.
Okay. From the slide, do you have any question? If you have any question, then you can write in the chat box. And regarding the basics of EIA, regarding the EIA notification, regarding the EIA report writing, any questions you can ask in our chat box, write in the chat box and you can ask. After 5 minutes, we can start with this report and then we will go ahead. Why the public hearing not done for River Valley project? Okay. See, the part of public hearing. Yes. From the first, the mandatory projects for category A and category B1 projects for which the public hearing is compulsory, but due to exempted, as I say, due to the as per the notification of EIA, the modernization of River Valley projects. For the modernization of River Valley projects, public hearing is not required. If there is any reconstruction or modernization in any river valley projects, then public hearing is not required. Why the government gives permission to start small scale industrial plants near the residential areas if there is no EIA for that? See, you say small scale industrial plants, right? So, see, if you see the slide, where it is. Okay. Yeah. As you see, for the small scale projects, B2 category is we done EIA or we don't prepare EIA report for B2 category project. First of all, category B, when we screen the project based on type, size and potential impact, then we will categorize the project in first in two categories, which is for high environmental impact, it goes to category A and it require clearance from central, and then for moderate impact we go to the state environmental impact assessment authority, where the category B is again screened by B1 and B2 category. For the B2 category project, which is small scale projects, like small scale projects, the EIA report is exempted. So in that case, the proponent or the consultant prepare a EMP report, which is Environmental Management Plan report. So that's why the EIA report is not compulsory for small scale industrial plants. Yeah, sure. I will explain TOR. In ESG reporting and EIA reporting, same. No, sir, or no, madam. The ESG reporting is completely different from EIA reporting. Okay, TOR. Let's understand the session of TOR again. Here it is. So we go to the scoping. Yes, we start from scoping. So during the time of scoping, the TOR is suggested by EAC or SEAC based on Form 1. As I say, Form 1 conceptual plan or pre-feasibility report is necessary for obtained TOR, which is terms of reference from the committee. For this, basically TOR shall be conveyed to applicant within 60 days of receipt of Form 1. When they submit Form 1, within 60 days, they obtain TOR. If the TOR is not finalized within 60 days from concerned authority, the TOR suggested in the Form 1 by the applicant is deemed as approved for EIA study. That means, in terms of reference, there are many conditions are written, which we will continue tomorrow. We can see there are many conditions are written, and that condition is fulfilled in EIA report as a TOR compliance. And these conditions are asked by EAC or SEAC. So the approved TOR shall be displayed on website also of the MOEF and SIA, or in case if any rejections of prior environmental clearance shall be conveyed to the applicant, then it all done within 60 days. Any rejection or selection. So for all category A1 and B1 category project, public hearing or these are compulsory, which is after acceptance of TOR or approval of TOR. Okay. What is the maximum number of days within which the terms of reference must be issued after recovering from. Yeah, I think you got my other point. It is after 60 days. After 60 days, you will receive the TOR after the submission of Form 1 or PFR. Okay, solar projects up to how many megawatt is allowed for exemption? I think it is allowed for all the solar projects because I don't have any idea regarding the expansion or the big solar projects till now. Okay. Okay, then I will start with one projects. One project is what? That is an expansion of existing 2400,600 TPA billet unit by addition of 2 into 12 ton induction furnace with CCM 2 into 2 stands 4 by 7 and replacement of existing 1 into 8 ton furnace, 1 into 12 ton furnace with addition of 20 TPH rolling mill for final production capacity of MS billet 1,18,800 TPA, roll product, direct hot rolling, 1,17,600 TPA, and slag crusher, 30,000 TPA by JSV Enterprises. And it is situated at plot number 48, Barhi Industrial Area, Barhi, District Hazaribagh, State, Jharkhand. This is a complete name of a project. This is complete name of one project, and it is an expansion project. When any project is stalled somewhere and there is any expansion in this project, then this project again require EIA or EC from the committee. If you have an existing this project, the Barhi project, the JSV enterprise already having 24,600 ton per annum billet unit, but after a few years they want expansion in their plant, and what expansion they are added 2 into 12 ton of induction furnace, 2 into 2 and stand 4 by 7 replacement of existing. They have already 1 into 8 ton of furnace by but but now they are replaced this by 1 into 12 ton furnace with addition of 20 TPH rolling mill. Again, rolling mill is also installed after the expansion, and the final production capacity of MS billet, which was previously 24,600 ton per annum. It is after addition. It will be 1,18,800 ton per annum, and the roll product is 1,17,600 ton per annum, and the slug crusher was 30,000 ton per annum, which is produced by JSV Enterprises at Barhi, Hazaribagh district. So when this is a EIA report of based on 2006 notification. As you see, this is under sector 3A metallurgical industries, ferrous and non-ferrous, under the schedule of EIA notification 2006 category B project. I say during the time of screening, the only B category project is screened into B1 and B2 category. For B1 category, EIA is required, and that is the project. That is a B1 category project because it comes under 3A, sector 3A metallurgical industry, ferrous and non-ferrous, and it comes under B1 category, and that's why EIA is necessary or mandatory for this type of project. Any question? Okay, no problem. Let's continue. So if you see the first page of EIA EMP report, you can see the name of the project. These are the small points, but it is very, very important or necessary for the clearance of EC. Okay. In the first page of EIA, you can see the name of the project, the address of the project, baseline period. That is a monitoring point, monitoring section or step of EIA. Baseline period. Baseline period is always done by in 3 months, and next is the sector of EIA and the category of EIA, and this EIA is prepared with following the notification of 2006. This is a TOR letter, and the TOR is given by SIA on 30th of October 2021. Here is the name of environmental consultant, and here's the name of applicant, that is project proponent, and their address. So this is a format, one format, example of format, a demo of format, that this is a complete or a summarized view of a project. Now, Do anyone have any idea how many EIA chapters are, how many chapters are in EIA report? Anyone? Do anyone have any idea about the chapters of EIA? How many chapters are there in EIA report? Today we see we have steps of we see and understand the steps of EIA, the procedure of EIA with the, but after the procedure of EIA, EIA report is prepared. The main function, main aim behind this training is to prepare the knowledge to understand the basics of EIA, the basic knowledge of EIA you have to understand. Yes, Sandeep, you are right. There is a 12th chapter in EIA report. So let's continue with the chapters of EIA. And this is how the EIA report is prepared. So the first chapter of EIA is introduction. The second chapter is project description. The third chapter is description of environment. Fourth chapter is anticipated environmental impact and mitigation measures. Fifth chapter is analysis of alternative technology. Sixth chapter contains environmental monitoring program. Seventh one is additional studies where we write about the public hearing. Eighth chapter is about the project benefits. Ninth chapter is about the cost benefit analysis of the project. 10th one is important, which is because it is an environmental management plan. And chapter 11 is summary and conclusion. And at last, chapter 12 is disclosure of consultant engaged, that which environmental consultant is engaged with this report or this project. So this is a complete 12th chapter of EIA. And in chapter 1, we first introduce about the project. So let's begin the introduction of EIA report. We are here now with the EIA report, and here it is, I think. This is executive summary. Yeah. See, first chapter is the introduction of EIA, where we write the full name of the company, the expansion of the expansion of the project, the full name, the configuration, a little configuration, summarized configuration of the project, the previous history of the project. We can write in the introduction part. Now, next we go to the purpose of the report, and then to identification of project and project proponent. So first chapter contains these headings of project, identification of project details again, and the project proponent. Now the brief description of nature and size and location of the project, where the nature of the project is Activity 3A, metallurgical industry, ferrous and non-ferrous, under Schedule 1 EIA notification 2006 issued by MOEF and CC Government of India, and falls under category B. This is the nature of project. The size of the project, where we can we write for the details of existing and proposed, the configuration of full plant, the location of the project, all the latitude, longitude are written there, the AMSL of the project site, the railway station, the site accessibility, of the proposed project or the expansion project are all written in the part of location of the project. Now there are different maps which is used for better understanding of EIA report. The study area map, and next is the importance of project to country and region. This is the importance of the project. Basically, it is a history about the project which is installed. And then the scope of the study, details of regulation and scoping. Here the terms of reference issued by SIA are mentioned, that what is the letter number, which meeting it is done, which meeting at the TOR will be obtained. All the informations are shared at this point. And then the chapters of EIA are given there. What are the laws applicable to these projects? All the laws, starting from water prevention control to air prevention control, environmental protection act, hazardous waste, Factories Act, the Central Motor Vehicle Act, the Solid Waste Management Rule, Batteries Management and Handling Rule, E-Waste Management Rule, and the Noise Pollution Regulations Amendment and its rule are all given in this section of law, which are applicable for this type of projects or these projects. So these projects are the legal channels are these, and for the responsibilities of this legal channels are CPCB and SPCB basically. For few of them, the MOEF and CC is also responsible. The main objective of this regulation is to control and prevent an amendment for all the air, water, soil, noise, wastage, everything. The basic objective of the regulations are prevention, control, and amendment. And based on the objective, we have an action plan for all of the pollution or the points which are arise for the installation of the project. Next chapter is chapter 2, project description. Here is the project description chapter included the name of the project again, need of and justification of the project, the location of the project again. But the location of the project is vary because that location of the project is included the lat and long of the project site, and here you can write the main transportation side of the project, where we show the general location or a specific location. What are the where is the railway station, at which side the railway stations are there. These are the points we have to mention at the point of location of the project. And then we will reach to the salient features of the proposed project, and this is the format. You can also prepare a format like your company or your consultancy want. Then there is a plant layout point, list of industries, the nearby industries which are placed surrounded by the project site are mentioned in the EIA report, because not only your project is responsible for the pollution, but also the projects which are installed nearby your industry is also responsible for the contribution of pollution or the impact. These are the GPS GIS maps, which is important to better understand the proposed project. We have to mention the site photographs of the project site. And then we come to the size and magnitude of operation. So the proposed expansion shall take place within the 4.55 hectare. So this expansion project is placed within the existing plant. No extra lease or extra land is taken for the expansion of the project. This is the proposed project facilities and capabilities. The plant facilities is basically completed with induction furnace, continuous casting machine, which is CCM, and rolling mill, the slag crusher. The first firstly, the main existing unit was induction furnace and CCM. 1 into 8 ton of induction furnace and 1 into 2 strand 4 by 7 CCM was installed previously. And after a few years, they want to expand their plant, and the capacity is expanded up to 24,600 TPA MS billet. So now the unit is 1 into 12 ton, and the capacity of the induction furnace and CCM was where we got the product MS billet is 1,18,800 TPA, and the rolling mill is 1,17,600 TPA, and the slag crusher we got 30,000 TPA per annum, that is ton per annum. So sellable product is MS billet and rolled product. That is this one rolling from we got from rolling mill and from the induction furnace and CCM. MS billet total 1,18,000 and the long rolled product is 1,17,600 TPA. Now see the timeline. Why timeline is important? You have to mention the timeline in your EIA report, that how much time you have to take to get TOR, to get draft EIA for public consultation, when you done the public hearing, when you have submitted the EIA to the client or to the EAC member or SIAC member. So you have to mention the timeline activities in your EIA report for better understanding of EAC members. Next is the schedule for implementation of the project. So if any project proponent or if any company wants to start any industrial activity or developmental activity, only EIA report is preparation, and EC grant is not the final point or final destination for them, because after EC grant of EC, they have to take a CTE, which is sorry. Consent to establish. They have to obtain consent to establish certificate after the 6 monthly compliance report, and they have to submit this 6 monthly compliance report to SPCB, which is a state pollution control board, and then the SPCB they grant or they permit the client to do the construction activity in their site. And after CTE, obtaining CTE, they have to put or file about the CTO for the operation of their installed industry. And CTO is again the consent to operate. Extremely sorry. The CTE is consent to establish, which we will get after the EC grant, and after CTE grant, we will got the CTO for operation. Again, the project implementation schedule is mentioned in EIA report. When you have done the civil work, when you have received the final equipment, when you done the installation, all the details are mentioned in the EIA report for the understanding of final EIA or grant of EC. And this is the project implementation schedule, that first month they are doing this, for second month they are doing this, and the trial production hot and cold trial is done at the 10 month or after 12 month or after 1 year 6 month, whatever the timeline it was or it will. Till now, you have any question? If you have any question, you can write in the chat box. Okay, now next we go to the technology and the process description part, which is a technical part of the project site or project configuration, where the process description, full process description of the plant is given in this section, they have installed the SMS, which is a steel melting shop. So induction furnace is required. Induction furnace total work process, the continuous casting machine work process, the slack crusher with magnetic or iron recovery system. All the technical point is mentioned in chapter 2. So basically chapter 2 is a technical part or technical section for the projector. And then the rolling mill. So these are the processes of the different section. The second is project details, where the raw material requirement is given there. So what raw material is required for preparation of hot rolling mill and roll product and billets? Basically, sponge iron, pig iron, scrap, and ferroalloys are required for the production of billet and rod. Billet, sorry, and for rod, the MS billet is required. Which is in house, because they prepare the MS billet in their house. And for rolling mill, they use their in-house billet for the preparation of rolled product. Now, here the main components of the EIA part is mentioned. That means water requirement. So after the resource depletion, water depletion is mentioned also. So how much water is required for how much electricity is required. Everything is written in EIA report in chapter 2. Basically, in this for this project, almost 204 KLD, kiloliter per day water is required for this project after the expansion. And this is a complete water balance diagram given in this report. Next is the power requirement. First, the total power requirement after the proposed expansion. Previously, it is not written, but after the proposed expansion, oh yes, 6 megawatt ampere, 6 megawatt MVA power unit is required for the existing plant, but after expansion, it will be 16 MVA. And for emergency backup, they have 62.5 kVA of a DG set. Now, next is manpower requirement. If industry is working, then existing manpower is 57, and after requirement, the manpower is also required. More manpower is required. So after expansion, 160 manpower is required for overall projects. So existing manpower is 57, additional manpower is 160, the total is 270. But with during the construction phase, few more manpower is required, so the overall manpower requirement is 300. Next is the land requirement and land use. So for any industrial installation, the land requirement or land use is very important. That how much land you have to take in from any place or any state. In any state, the total plant area is 4.55 hectare, and the 4.55 hectare is breaked in this type of use. For the plant use or for induction furnace, they take 0.55 hectare. For admin building, they take 0.11 hectare. For green belt, because as per the EIA notification, 33% of green belt is compulsory, mandatory for every projects. So that's why, except mining, for every industrial project, 33% of green belt is required. So that's why we have a green belt part is compulsory for every industrial or developmental projects, except mining. For mining, I think it is 15 to 25% of green belt is compulsory. Now the next is the cost estimate. The total cost estimate for this project is 14.90 crore, and for existing plant it was 17.55 crore. So total land cost estimation is 32.45 crore. You can see the total cost of the project is also breakdown in many particulars, infrastructure, for building, for plant maintenance. So you have to add or you have to mention every little information about your project, about the impact, about the consumption of your resources, of renewable, it is, maybe it is renewable, it is non-renewable, it doesn't matter, but you have to mention everything about your project configuration to resource. And this is a green belt developmental part. So 1 acre of the land is marked for 33% of green belt cover. There's a solid waste generation from the plant, which is 29,000 slag generation, 1,200 mill scales and cutting, and 130 dust from process. So bag filter is also installed. We will go it and understand it in next class. Next one is the description and mitigation measure of incorporated, which is cyclone comes. These are the mitigation measures we will incorporate in chapter 2 a little bit, but we will understand it in chapter 4 again. So this is a significant impact and summary of EIA, emission of air, water pollution, noise pollution. These are all summarized, and as you can see, it is written in chapter 4 of the EIA. So basic impact analysis is written in chapter 4 of EIA. And then we come to the ecological and biodiversity part. So this is up to chapter 2 of EIA report. We will continue this in our next class. And if you have any question, you can write in the chat. Okay, next question is, what is the basic qualification for an individual to become EIA expert? Okay, and can commerce or graduate be a part of and make a career in this? See, I work in few companies and I see many of the commerce student and graduate students are working in the field of EIA. But if you want to continue, or if you want a career in EIA, you have to take some additional skills. You have to understand or learn some additional skills so that you can be a part of this EIA in future. But EIA expert, as per the NABET 2.0 framework, commerce students are not till the part of the EIA, because they have a different criteria of qualifications. They have different sectors of qualifications for their experts in EIA's field. So but if you want to continue this as a career, then you must have to learn many skills and many you have to take some few degrees as a diploma to continue your career in this sector.